Hello. I'm back again for another Sunday live technical analysis. I need to give it a cool name. I don't want to call it a Sunday stock talk like the others, but if you know a cool name that can give this Sunday weekly live stream, drop me a message in the comments section. All right. I've got 3 people online straight away, but I'm just going to start straight away, and as people join, they can just join. Drop a message in the live chat just to let me know you're about. I just want to see if there's any hellos. I want to see if just some audience interaction is always welcome. Before I get started, you know what I'm going to say. I'm Any, aka the Noctrader. I'm a technical analysis swing trader. And if it's the first time watching, then I've got a lot of videos on my channel all about just showing you the process of my swing trades that I take. I look to hold positions for anywhere between maybe a day to maybe a few weeks. So I'm not looking for long-term positions. Sometimes if I do find them, then I might invest in them, but I won't really post about them so much on the channel. I've also got a Discord chat room called Pip Talks that I run with Infinite Investors, my friend Infinite Investors, Curtis. He runs the investment channel where he just talks about long-term investments in stocks and shares and ETFs, and I talk about trading, so swing trading, sometimes day trading, but predominantly swing trading. We've got about just over, I think, over 350 people, something like that, and it's a growing community. Right now it's a nice size, I like it, and we've got some great contributors on the chat room, so it's quite good conversations that we have. And if you want to join, it's free. I've got the link in the description section below. So, done with all the jargon. I've got Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all that type of stuff. Anyway, let's get into some technical analysis. So, first thing I want to look at is DAX. So, I always like to do this. I keep repeating this, but I always like to do this first. I always like to look at the indices before I get into stocks. The reason being is that, especially the country indices, the reason I do that is because these indices are a weighted average of some of the largest market capitalization stocks in that country, so you can get a good feel for how the market is moving based on how the index is moving. And a lot of the time, these indexes are, because of globalization, a lot of the indexes kind of move in similar patterns. So once you can get a feel of how most of these indexes are moving, you can get a feel of which way the market's going. So that's why I like to look at indexes before I look at the stocks. So I look at DAX. Now, DAX is, it's just all over the place recently. Mainly because I think most of these stocks have been selling off and coming up because of what was going on with Iraq, I think. But I don't know how much that's affecting the DAX so much. But like right now, what I'm looking at straight away, I see this potentially. So this looks like an expanding wedge to me, from what I've seen. But it's not really strong correlation here. So it might be a expanding wedge. But from what I see right now on the 1 hour chart, it looks like price could do one or two things. With expanding wedge, with a bullish expanding wedge, what sometimes happens is that price will sell off and then go back up. So sell off halfway. So what I think it might do is that it will meet the 180-day simple moving average, then continue the bullish move. So I expect it to sell off a little bit and then reverse at some point, maybe halfway point, and then start climbing some more, because that's on the 1 hour chart. Because if you look at the daily, for the most part, it looks like there's a bullish move. Bullish move is happening, and I can see it just breaking all-time highs. If not now, then even not the first time, but the second time. One thing to notice with all-time highs is that because it's an all-time high, people that have been holding long positions for quite a long time will normally sometimes take their positions out at all-time highs, and if that happens, then that's why you normally see like a retracement at all-time high before it breaks through. Because people that have, let's say someone's been holding, has gone long here, they want to realize their profits once it gets to all-time high, because a lot of times they're like, let me not be greedy, let me just take my money out. So what you find is that it'll hit the all-time high, sell off quite a bit, and then break it maybe the second or third time. And that's because long-term holders of this index or whatever will sometimes cash out at all-time highs, which will cause the price to momentarily sell off. So that's something to think about once you start approaching all-time highs. So so I do believe it's going to break through it, but I don't know how many times it's going to have to hit to the all-time high before it breaks it. I always liken resistances to supports and resistances to like a hammer hitting a glass. So when price hits a support or resistance and maybe it doesn't break through the first time, it's the same way when a hammer hits a glass. It may crack it, but if you want to break it, you might have to hit it 3, 4, 5 times before it will shatter. And that's the same with price. So that's a good analogy I like to use for support and resistances and how they relate to price. So with that being said, I looked at DAX, but one stock I like to look at is the Aussie Exchange, the ASX and the Nike. And the reason I like to look at those is because those are the first markets that open on a Sunday night. Obviously, just because of the time zones. I actually made a video about the different time zones, and I spoke about this website, which is worldtimezone.com. And this just gives you kind of like a visual representation of what times markets are open, and if they're open right now. So as we can see, all the markets are closed because it's Sunday, and the Tokyo market's on holiday for some reason. Maybe they just have a national holiday. And it's 5:41 right now in Australia and 7:41 in New Zealand. So, and the Australian market is normally the first one to open. So this gives a good indication of what's going to happen potentially in the European and the US markets as they open afterwards, because obviously the European opens next, and then the American markets will open after that. So I can get a feel of what's going on in the markets just based on what goes on in the Australian and the Asian markets. So I like to look at the ASX, and that's already broken all-time highs, as you can see. But what we want to look at is what it's going to do next. So if you go down to the 4-hour chart, it's as I said, it's broken all-time highs, sold off a little bit. I'm not really sure. This pattern's not really giving me too much information that I can work with, but yeah, if in all honesty, what I could do is Fibonacci. That's a good way. I can look at that, and that can give me some sort of insight. See, okay, so now we've got a little bit of information. See, this is why I love Fibonacci. Something that looked messy is now actually giving me some tangible information that I can trade with. So Fibonacci, from this low point of 6631 to the recent high, there's been it's respective Fibonacci, because you can see a retracement to here, which is the 61% level, and then here, which is the 23.6 level. So it could do one or two things based off of Fibonacci if it's respecting Fibonacci, which it looks like it's been doing all the way up. It could break out to the upside. This could be a momentary retrace, and it can carry on going up. Or it could sell off maybe down to the next level, go up, or the next level, go up. But I do think it's going to carry on going up. So it depends on which level it decides that it wants to reverse at. So sometimes it might just be a wait and see thing, where you have to almost let it reverse a little bit, and then you could potentially take a position and set your stop loss just below the Fibonacci level to realize some profits. So yeah, these are the three scenarios that I can see the Australian market doing right now. Come on, man. No one's saying anything in the live chat. Come on, guys. Engage me in the live chat. Alright, anyway. So these are the three potential scenarios that could be had on Fibonacci. Alright, so anyway, sorry for that pause. Okay, so now we have Can I get? Let me see if there's anyone messaging in the live chat. I want to see if maybe there's something going on in the live chat, or maybe just no one's interacting. Because I normally. Sorry for that pause. Okay, so it's not usual to have no one saying anything in the live chat. Just drop me a message if you can see the live chat. For some reason I can't. Oh, people have been messaging. I can't. I just haven't been able to see it. Sorry, guys. There's something. Okay, cool. Sorry, but apologies. People have been messaging in the live chat. I just haven't been able to see. Okay, so we've got yeah, that's weird. That is weird. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, people. I'm still getting used to this this streaming stuff. So let me just get my bearings with me now. All right. So with the live chat, let me respond to some. But apologies. People have been messaging in the live chat. Okay, cool. So yeah, we got Trader Nick. Hey, Trader Nick, what's up, man? Great forex trader, one of the legit ones. Hey. Okay, we got Shaquille. We got Fiddle Diddle. What a name. Diversified said pro real time updates will come after World War 3. Oh mate, don't get me started on pro real time updates. Live chat. Don't get me started on pro real time updates. But apologies, people don't get me started on pro real time updates, because I've been trying to. I've contacted their product managers. I've begged, borrowed, still not. I don't know when it's gonna come to IG, because I think the update's already there, but it's not on IG. And I spoke to IG, and they don't know when they're gonna update it, because it's not the most important thing that they have on their product roadmap. So I don't know. I really don't know when pro real time the latest version is gonna come to IG, and I don't know. Yeah. So what else? That's a great analogy. Okay, cool. I'm here for Baba. Okay, I might look at Baba in a second. Okay, yeah. All right. Okay, Shaquille, the time zones are different because there's a slight time delay, I think, on the live stream. But yeah. Okay, so I'm going to go into some other charts now. I've wasted enough time. But yeah, ASX, this is what I think is going to happen. We'll see it next week, and we'll see what happens with that. I'm going to go into CEY. This is one that was called out by a UK trader. I don't think he's on the live stream right now, but this guy pointed out a real good stock that I think has potential to continue going up. Now, Centamin is a UK stock, and if you just look at the way it's been moving so far, it just looks like it's on a bullish run right now. Everything is telling me bull right now. If you look at the MACD, it looks like a bit like a bullish divergence. RSI bullish divergence, and then the 180-day simple moving average is acting as a support on the daily chart. So, and this is curving up. Now, what I can see happening next, if I go down to the 4-hour chart, what I can see happening next is a continued motion upwards. So the way we could do that is, the way it looked like, it would be something like this. Straight up, because it's been ebbing and flowing. It's been going up, coming down, going up, coming down, and I believe it's going to go up and then maybe come down some more and then carry on going up. So I believe that Centamin is a good stock to watch right now, just based off of the way it's reacting to yeah, just based off the motion on the 4 and the daily chart. The 180-day simple moving average is giving good signs, and then obviously the bullish convergence divergence on the RSI and the MACD just looks promising from a daily chart. Now I'm going to go into Groupon. Groupon, I made a bit of money on the short, and I believe now it's time to go long. If you these yellow lines are the ones that I drew for the long position, and this one seems to be the one realizing. But once it gets to here, we could decide what to do, whether it's going to break out or sell off some more. But I believe that now would be a great position, or even earlier would be a great time to take a bullish position in Groupon, because it's just staying true to the falling wedge pattern. As you can see here, it's just been respecting this falling wedge for quite some time. Yeah, hey UK trader. Yeah, thanks for this center mean trade. That looked like a good one. I've added that to my watch list. But Groupon just looks like a long right now. It just looks like a straight textbook long. As you can see here, this green box was the profit take zone that I'd smacked out for this short position, and I took it obviously a little bit earlier because it didn't reach it. But you don't want to get greedy, because if you got greedy, you would have lost a little bit of the profits that you made. But now I think just straight up take a long, set a stop loss maybe just below here, and then just ride it all the way up to the resistance line, and then you can reevaluate whether you want to hold it and wait for a breakout, or if you're gonna just wait, if you're gonna just close your position and then wait for it to actually break out before you take another position. And another one I'm looking at is Roku. All right, I'm looking at Roku right now. But I wanna get from you before I go into Roku. I wanna go into Roku right now, but then I want you guys to tell me what you think of Roku before I actually give an analysis. What do you think the best play on Roku would be right now? I'll give you some time. I'm gonna revisit that. So we're talking about Roku right now, but I'm gonna revisit that, and just leave me in the comment section what you think of Roku, because I'm gonna go to JetBlue right now. But we're gonna go back to Roku. But leave in the comment section below what's your thoughts on Roku. Now, JetBlue is an interesting one. JetBlue, you have to take into the consideration the fundamentals when you want to trade JetBlue. Now, JetBlue is a stock that I identified quite a while back as a long-term bullish stock, just because of the fundamentals and the technicals. And I'm still bullish on JetBlue, primarily because, first of all, just because of the technicals, and second of all, because JetBlue is in a market where all of its competitors are not doing as well as them, mainly because they have some of the least exposure to the Boeing 737 aircrafts. So they can still run at basically near full capacity, while some of their competitors who had Boeings have had to halt to those planes and then try and find replacements, and in the time operational efficiency has decreased. So Boeing hasn't had to have any of these problems, so they're really taking advantage of the fact that their competitors are struggling right now. So that's one of the reasons. And also they've also expanded their services out to South America, so they're offering more flights out into South America. So there's a lot of information on Boeing, on JetBlue, that I can go into. But if you check my JetBlue video out that I made a video a while back on JetBlue. If I can find it, I'll post it up here as well. But yeah, JetBlue just looks like a really interesting stock to go long on, both from a fundamental and a technical aspect. Yeah, so with that being said, now that you know a little bit about the fundamentals just based off what I said, now let's look at the technicals of JetBlue. So right now there's this like resistance area that JetBlue has tried to break through, just under that 2000. It's tried once, twice, thrice, tried again. And remember that analogy I gave of like a supports and resistances, especially resistances being like a glass that you're trying to shatter with a hammer. Now it's hit it several times, but it haven't seemed to break through. But I believe that it's on the cusp of breaking through, and when it does, it's just going to skyrocket. I believe this next wave, this next bullish movement, may be the thing that's gonna help it break through this resistance. Now, if you look at this, the 180-day simple moving average is acting as a support, and it's curving up, which shows signs of a bullish movement long term. It's got this kind of like slope and resistance line here, and from my experience, whenever a price is like making a kind of like a falling, it's like falling, but like it has a resistance that is trying to break out from this aspect. Basically, if you see something like this, a lot of times I always feel that there's going to be a breakout soon. I'll give you a prime example of that. There's a Workhorse. Workhorse was basically did exactly the same thing. It'd been if you just ignore this line, it had been like ricocheting off of this resistance so many times, and then when it eventually broke out, it went up. And I believe that JetBlue is going to do the same. So I believe that once JetBlue breaks this resistance line, it's going to be clear sailing upwards, provided that it can break this as well. So what I'm doing is that I'm going to set an alert on this line. But I do believe once it breaks this line, and I don't want to look at false breakouts because it could do a false breakout. I need some concerted like breakout. So it needs to break out and then maybe have 1 or 2 green candlesticks. Then I would be like, okay, cool. Now it's a bullish move and let's buy. But I do believe JetBlue is a long in the long term. And also the MACD and RSI, they're all shaping up like they're ready to make a bullish breakout. So JetBlue's a good one. Now back to Roku. So what did you guys think of Roku? I do believe once it breaks. So personally, I think Roku is a short right now. It's tried to get to all-time highs once. It's got close to it again before it starts selling off. And the real telltale sign to me is the bearish divergence on the weekly chart. So if there's a bearish divergence on the weekly chart, which is a sign of like it's going to sell off. And if you look here as well, Roku, as I actually drew these yellow lines when Roku was like around here. I said it's got 2 options. It's going to either climb back up to this line or it's going to sell off. Now it climbed back up to this line and then it sold off, and then it climbed up again and it sold off. So it looks like it's been it looks like it's kind of found like a resistance here. Do you see this line here? There's been like a invisible resistance that it's just hasn't been able to break out of, and every time it hits it, it starts selling off some more. So I believe that it's going to sell off some more down to at least, I would say you can make a nice little bit of money just shorting Roku potentially up into here. Now I wouldn't take this position only because I like to take positions at optimal position place. So I wouldn't like to short. I would have, if I had seen this, I would have liked to short Roku when it was around here, because then my stop loss would be really tight and then I can make maximum profit rather than halfway through a move. Because that's just me personally. I like comfortability. I like to take a position at the point of reversal so that I can set a type stop loss and maximize my profit. But still, I do believe that it could sell off all the way down to this resistance line and then maybe even bounce back up or break through. After that, it could do 1 or 2 things. It can go up, like that, or it could break through. But right now we're just looking at this. I believe it's going to sell off to here. What's going on? Oh no, I spoke about Roku before. I gave a little synopsis of Roku, then I revisited it because I wanted to see some people talk about it in the comment section, but no one really did. So what stocks are you guys looking at right now? So I've given you a couple of the ones that I'm looking at in the in my video. I've spoken over about Groupon, Roku and JetBlue. Actually, let me revisit Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree was the one I was singing and dancing about for a long time, but it's not looking really good for me right now with Dollar Tree. As much as all the confluence signs sell Dollar Tree selling off, so I'm still in the trade, but I'm just a little bit, I'm not as confident as I was before because I thought it would have sold off quite a bit by now, but it's still just kind of lingering. But I'm still in a short position on with Dollar Tree. But the reason why I'm not as confident as I was before is because the market is looking quite bullish right now, and sometimes even a stock that should be a short may not sell off the way it should do if the whole market is quite bullish, because it's like a fish swimming against the current. It's facing a lot of resistance, and there's a lot of bullish sentiment right now. So we'll just have to wait and see. To be honest, my risk isn't too much, and I've already come to terms with if I lose that amount, I lose it. So I'm just gonna see how it goes. Now finally, before I go off this stream, I wanted to talk to you guys about someone suggested in the Discord group, and actually someone suggested in the comment section below, that I do a 50k challenge. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to use a demo account. So this is independent of what I do here. I'm going to use a demo account, and I'm going to trade quite aggressively, but swing trade, still same strategy, but swing trade quite aggressively from 5 grand and see if I can get to 50 grand. It's just for entertainment purposes. It's going to be a complete different series to the series that I'm doing now. I hope you guys watch it, and it's just going to be more for entertainment, just to see if I can grow an account using an aggressive strategy. Obviously it's a demo account, so it's not going to be the same emotional attachment, but I'm going to try and still stick to the rules I would do with my real money on my demo account, and we'll just see how it grows. If anything, if I do well, then it's just a nice little way of if people want to see the trades that I'm making and they see some that they're interested in, they can join in as well. But it's down to your discretion. But I'm going to start that series soon, maybe the next week, and we'll just see how those that demo account grows as I do the 50k challenge. But yeah, okay, one more stock is Boohoo. Demola A is looking at Boohoo. You love Boohoo, you're always talking about it. Okay, so Boohoo right now, it looks quite overextended. So it looks like it's making an ascending kind of converging wedge, which is quite worrying to me. Not worrying to me, but like, theory, the technical analysis theory says that if there's ascending falling wedge, this is what is going to happen. This is not necessarily what is going to happen. This is normally what happens with an ascending wedge. It'll go like that, 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 and then it'll sell off. So just got to be wary of the fact that it might sell off. Not to say that it will do, because as I said, the whole market is quite bullish right now, so that may not be the case. But you have to just take that into consideration, just based on technical analysis theory. Now, personally, I wouldn't enter the trade right now. If you're already in it, then that's good. But once again, back to what I said, I don't like to enter a trade halfway through the trade. I'd rather be the guy that entered here rather than entered here, because when I'm entering here, then that means that I don't really know where to set my stop loss, because there's all of this movement. But if I enter here, it's obvious that my stop loss will be quite tight here, and then it can ride up. So right now it's quite halfway through a move, and it's already started retracing. So personally, I wouldn't be in this trade. But if you took a long position on Boohoo, then you're probably laughing right now, because it's been just making high highs. And to be honest, we all know that the Love Island effect is real, because Boohoo's share prices like basically just started climbing up real big around this area. This was during Love Island. This is when all of the Love Island contestants started getting Boohoo deals, and then their clothing line started selling out. So now that Love Island winter's coming, then there's a good chance that this could happen again once this Love Island season ends. So that's one thing to take into consideration with Boohoo, is the Love Island effect. So yeah, anyway, we're just under 30 minutes, but I like to keep these at 30 minutes. This has been my live technical analysis stream. I hope you guys have found it interesting and informative. Tell a friend to tell a friend. It's Any, aka the Noctrader, signing out.